Well, good morning, my friends. Today is Wednesday, October 9th. This is Healing the Heart of America. And this morning we're going to be looking at drug use in America, sort of continuing this theme of the things we do to avoid feeling our feelings. And of course, when I was researching it yesterday, it's very, very touching. We'll get into that more, but you hear the stories of people who have become addicted to drugs, and you realize this is very, very difficult. Very difficult, and a lot of compassion is called for. We'll also continue looking at the five elements. I wanted to talk about this now rather than engage the intellect later during the meditation. We'll be working with the element of fire. This very upwardly expanding energy. Heat rises. And I had this thought this morning. I was thinking about the five elements as being part of these eightfold nature of nature, the Prakritis in the Vedic system. Of course, the elements are just as subtle as our mind is. And we are by far more familiar with using the mind to experience what is beyond creation than we are familiar with using the elements to experience what is beyond creation. But they're equally there. And I had this thought, we have these 8 aspects of creation. The 5 elements, the mind, intellect, and ego. And we have what are called the 3 gunas, or the 3 qualities, Raja, Sattva, and Tamas. And each one of those connects to each of the 8. And you end up with these 24 elements of creation. And I was thinking about this because Yom Kippur did start last night, but today is a formal day of it. It starts at sunset, and probably the same with Victory Day. So I was just thinking about Yom Kippur, and it talks in the Bible of the Sanhedrin, the Council of 24 Elders, sort of governing the Jewish culture. Then I started thinking about John Hagelin, this amazing physicist who was the first who brought out the real integrated superstring theory. And since he brought out his superstring theory had 24 operators plus 1 unmanifest operator, just like the same 24. And what's gone on since then is really interesting to hear him talk about it. He said there are now total, I think, 3 valid superstring theories, all of them quite different, and 2 more were coming. And there was some fellow, he said, who was so brilliant that it was like he was an alien. He was so brilliant. This is a high praise from John Hagelin, who was integrating the 5 of these into one theorem. And I thought, these 5 superstring theories are the 5 elements, the 5 ways of creation expressing itself. So that's just, like I say, that's just food to play with in the mind. Now let's move into our hearts. So, just notice where you are right now, what your experience is. And then let's just begin by putting our hands on our heart, this very ancient posture. It's our way of saying, good morning, hearts. Good morning, my dear friend. And just be with your heart. Nothing to do. Maybe adore our hearts. Move into gratitude towards our hearts. Pumping since the time of our birth. I guess before that. Maybe we can feel our heartbeat. Maybe not. And again, notice, what does sitting with our hands on our heart do for us? Compare it to a minute ago before we started. What's your state now? What's your experience now? And let your hands down when you're ready. And now let's say hello to our lungs, to our respiratory system. And we do that just by watching the breath. Noticing how easy it is to breathe, how challenging it is, how free the nostrils are. How fully do we breathe? The inhale, the exhale. And just by noticing, really it sends a message that we care. We love our breath. We want to start looking at our breath as being a very dear friend, filling us with oxygen, with energy, all of our life. We think we get our energy by eating food, and we do, but we get far more by breathing. And now let's explore and experiment with our breath by beginning to have very full exhales and very full inhales, using our abdominal muscles, pulling the stomach muscles all the way back towards the spine to exhale. Watching the inhale. Just notice what it's like to breathe with deep, full abdominal breathing for a few minutes. And again, just check to see what's different. What's your experience compared to when we first started this meditation? What does flooding our system with prana, with energy, do to us? Sometimes it's dramatic, sometimes it's very subtle. Doesn't matter. And now let's move into a further exploration. Begin our process of heart rhythm meditation, where we connect the rhythm of our breath with the rhythm of our heartbeat. So just begin by finding your heartbeat. By now, most of us can probably just feel the heartbeat, but some people it just takes longer, and that's okay. Or maybe we have new people today. In which case, if you can't feel your heartbeat, simply feel your pulse anywhere in your body, or use your fingers to feel your pulse on your wrist. Or neck, maybe. The other thing you can do is hold your breath 10, 20, 30 seconds, and then you'll really start to notice your heartbeat. But what we want to do now, this ancient technique dating back to the desert fathers and desert mothers who meditated with their heart and their breath. What we want to do now is inhale to the count of 6 or 8 heartbeats, as many as you want. Could be fewer or more. I'll use 8. Inhale for 8 beats. Exhale for 8 beats. In past classes, we've brought up the possibility of putting a name of divine being to that heartbeat. So certainly do that if that's of interest to you. Or an affirmation, or a short prayer. The classic one in Christianity is, Lord Jesus Christ, have mercy on me. If you choose, perhaps the Shema. Whatever your tradition. Keep the attention on the heartbeat. Inhale to 8 heartbeats. Exhale to 8 heartbeats. If you're out of the Vedic tradition, you might do Soham or Ma Om to your heartbeat. And again, notice your experience when we connect these two basic rhythms together. Eventually we begin to realize when we connect these two rhythms, all the other rhythms of life, we begin to move into alignment with them. The rhythm of nature, the rhythm of the earth, the rhythm of the sun and the moon. It's a way of connecting with all of creation. And just ask, is it okay if we live in harmony with all of creation? On the very fundamental levels of our breathing and our heartbeat. When we say yes to that, we just set the intention. Yes, that's okay. And we allow that to happen. There's no trying there. We just do the practices and allow the result to show up. This week we've been working as an extension of this practice on the 5 elements. Monday was earth. Yesterday was water. Today let's explore the fire element. And we want to see all of these elements. Recognize that at the celestial level, they are just as subtle as our mind, as our ego. They are actual beings, divine impulses, responsible for really the building blocks of creation. So the breathing, each one of these elements has their own breathing pattern. And to connect to the fire element, we inhale through slightly opened lips. Full inhale, connected to the heartbeat. And then we close our lips and exhale through our nostrils. Inhale through slightly opened lips. 8 heartbeats. And exhale through our nostrils. Let's try that just 1 or 2 more times. Now that's a basic breathing pattern. But there's always, with the elements, there's always a sense of motion. And the fire element in particular, we connect to the solar plexus. Solar meaning sun or fire. The digestive fire of our stomachs. So what we want to do here is we want to inhale directly the energy into our solar plexus with our open lips, slightly open lips, and then exhale back out of our solar plexus. Exhaling out through our nostrils. So we have a stream of energy coming into our solar plexus and a stream of energy coming out of our solar plexus. You may end up noticing the fire in the solar plexus becoming more alive, vibrant, red, an inferno. It takes a while for that to show up. But that's the direction we want to go in. And to help that along, let's change this one more time. We want to inhale through our open lips into our solar plexus, and then hold the breath just to where it's comfortable. Don't strain. And continue, if you can, feeling your pulse in your solar plexus. Inhale through open lips, hold the breath 10, 20, 30, 40 seconds, whatever's comfortable. Then exhale out through your nostrils. So let's just play with this a few times. And now, one more minor adaptation. We breathe into our solar plexus, 8 heartbeats, whatever your number is. We hold it there. And then exhale out through the nostrils, but let the energy rise up, the light rise up into your heart and flow out of your heart. So we inhale through open lips into our solar plexus. Allow the fire to build as we hold our breath. And when it's comfortable, keep the heat in the solar plexus, but let the light move up into the heart and out of the heart. And as we're doing this, just notice if you're beginning to feel some heat in your body. It may take practice, but over time you'll find your heat builds up. The light goes through the heart, and you have this interchange with the environment, with the fire element. And we can let this fire element purify, burn through fire all that which is not meant to be. Fire is this expansive energy, has qualities of inspiration, of joy, of forward movement, when you need to get something done, we call upon fire, fiery aspect of our personality to move us forward. Great leaders use a lot of fire. Martin Luther King had a lot of fire. It leads to accomplishment, courage, passion, joy. In the Bible, it speaks of John the Baptist saying, I baptize you with water, but the one who is coming will baptize you with fire, with the Holy Spirit. I ran across an interesting comment from Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, who wrote the book on death and dying. She says, as people are dying, they have two regrets. They regret the things they didn't do, and they regret the person they didn't become. Fire is a power that moves us forward, the enthusiasm, the drive, that lets us do the things we wish we would do, lets us become the person we would like to become. So just take a moment as we breathe into our solar plexus, open lips, exhale out through our heart, through our nostrils. What is it that, just go to into the future, lying there, ready to die. What is it that you wished you would have done? Who is it that you wish you would have become? Just ask the question. Maybe there's an answer, maybe not. Now let's expand this experience of fire. Inhale, pulling the fire energy in, expanding and allowing the fire energy to expand out beyond our skin. Inhale, feel the heartbeat still, expand out even further. Let the fire energy go out. Let it go out as far as it can. Maybe it just goes a few inches. Maybe it goes and fills our community, our country, our world, our creation. Would it become okay with us if we became so intimately connected to this fire element that we are spontaneously connected to every particle of creation? Every particle of creation has each of the 5 elements within it. It has to. Is it okay if we experience unity on the level of this element this morning? And again, we're just setting an intention. I'd be very surprised if we all have that very clear experience, but who can say? We're moving into an extraordinary period in the world. Absolutely extraordinary. Where unity consciousness will become the new norm. And we can approach it through the mind, we can approach it through the senses, we can approach it through the elements. And that's the invitation. From this place, let's move into our topic today of drug abuse in America. And just from our own personal experience, can you think of someone, perhaps yourself, who has or has had problems with drug dependency? And that doesn't mean just, the illegal drugs. We all know right now we're in the middle of an opioid crisis, most of which were prescribed, at least in the beginning. We're in a world where, particularly, you hit age 60, people are taking handfuls of pills every day, drugs. And how do you feel about that? When you think about the people that you know that have become dependent on drugs, what feeling comes up within you? Do you blame? Do you have compassion? Do you want to rescue them? Do you want to shake them, wake them up, get out of this? What sense of loss do you feel when you see someone addicted to drugs? Or maybe it's the person on the street. Here in the Midwest, methamphetamines are the big, big problem. You see them, they've lost their teeth, skinny, scrawny, eyes glazed. What does your mind say when you see that? Compared to what does your heart say? The mind judges. The mind wants to change. The heart loves. The heart loves. Sees with compassion. Sees with forgiveness. You read these stories of people just like you and me. One story that stuck in my mind from my research yesterday is a fellow in the automobile industry making 6 figures a year. Plenty of money. And he had some injury and he started taking oxycodone. And then every time he'd take it, he'd feel great. At first he was just doing it on the weekends, and then pretty soon he said, why can't I feel as good on Wednesday and Thursday as I do on the weekends? And pretty soon he's taking it every day, 8 pills a day, and each pill cost him $80. A $600-$700 habit a day. Check to feel what reaction do you have inside of yourself when you hear a story like this. Because you feel the feeling and love the feeling. This fellow, I think, was in New Jersey. There's nothing you and I are going to do for him other than healing the field that creates this culture of drug use. And by healing the field, we can allow people to make the small decisions that allow them to move towards wholeness rather than towards destruction. To look at it on the level of the culture. Right now, about 20 million Americans have a substance use disorder. 20 million Americans. That includes alcohol, so it's not all drugs. Probably 8 million have drugs. It's such a expensive tragedy for America, costing us about $740 billion a year in lost productivity, health care, and crime. So how do you feel when you think about all the crime committed by drug users? The cost in human terms and monetary terms. How do we feel about putting drug users in jail? How has that worked for our country? Would it be okay with us if we started to see drug use as a social problem rather than a criminal problem? $740 billion of lost productivity and crime and medical care would go a lot towards rehabilitation. And the countries that decriminalize drugs, Switzerland, Spain, Holland, the research I see shows vast net gains to the culture. Switzerland, they actually started dispensing these drugs for free. This has been going on for 14 years. People had to come into a dispensary. They can't take them on the streets. What they discovered is people would come in for a while and then they'd stop coming in. They'd get off the drugs. After 14 years in the whole country of Switzerland, only one person had been taking drugs at these dispensaries for all 14 years. Fantastically cheaper. Fantastically more compassionate. We have about 1 million users of cocaine, slightly less. About 650,000 heroin users in the United States. 64,000 deaths a year to opioid use. And the opioid manufacturers made about $12 to $13 billion selling these opioids. Check to see if you have a judgment, if you don't like that, if you resist that. And does not liking that solve the problem? Would it be okay with us if we greet them in a way that brings out their highest nature? From our side, what's our experience when we do that compared to judging them? And I'm not saying we don't take action. Not at all. I'm just saying, on the level of our energy, is it okay if we live in our hearts and act seeing everyone as a great spiritual being, fulfilling their role in creation? And that doesn't mean give them a pass. It means our best strategy for ourselves and for the culture is to see from the eyes of our heart. And let's just set an intention. Is it okay with us if all these problems of drug abuse, drug addiction, just fade away as our culture moves more into the heart, and everyone who needs whatever they need and is seeking it through drugs finds it through connecting to their own heart and to the hearts of those around them? Could we move into such a culture of the heart that the draw for drugs just disappears, or becomes at least so minimal that it's hardly an issue in our culture? Could you join me in this vision? There's really no downside to holding this vision. And on this very holy day, could we ask for mercy and grace to heal every person challenged with drug abuse right now? That the energy of love becomes so powerful that it dissolves every impurity, every pain, every wound, causing this devastating tragedy. And let's come back into our hearts. Can we allow, from the perspective of our hearts, what might seem impossible to simply show up in our world? Put up all your disbelief. How's that ever going to happen? And could you just let that go? Who are we to say what can happen and what can't happen? We just set the intention and we let it go. Pull your attention back into your heart. Perhaps feel your heartbeat, or just the energy in the soles of your feet. And just take a minute or two to open your eyes. Be gentle with yourself. So this formal part of this class. If you are stirred up or have something else that you'd like to work with, will you open up the microphone or anyone here to speak up? Hit *6 to unmute yourself. Tomorrow, we're going to go back to our more traditional topics. This thing about Trump and Joe Biden is so strong in the media. I thought we'd do the focus on the media, as you know, with the impeachment process right up there, and find where we can come to peace with that. Part of the reason I'm going there is I was reacting, and I started thinking about my friends who were very politically active, and I get to kind of go, ugh. But once I get past the ugh, I just find they're extraordinary people. And you know, the very surface is what's separating us. So that's the topic for tomorrow. Anyone with a...
Stephen?
Yes. Good morning.
This is Patsy. How are you?
Hi, Patsy. How are you doing?
Good. I have a question. I love the meditation. I like how you cover that, but we didn't go to, and can we do it maybe down the road, the criminality behind it, you know, how the drugs are getting into the country, people making a lot of money off of them, you know.
It sounds
can we address...
Patsy, it sounds like you, like most of us, don't like the fact that people are making a lot of money off these drugs, do we?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not real thrilled about it.
Right.
But I think that what happened, what I read about it, the opioid epidemic, and if you're even on like prescription medication, and then when you can no longer afford your prescription, what they're doing is going for heroin, for drugs that are cheaper.
So Patsy,
I don't know if that's true, but that's what I read.
Patsy, let's do this right now. How's that sound?
Okay.
So when you think about the drug cartels, what comes up for you?
Well, anger that they get away with it.
Of course. So can you welcome up that anger?
Yes.
Yeah. And just welcome it up some more.
Yeah, the anger is very deep because nothing ever happens.
Right. No stories here. The anger is very deep.
Okay.
That's perfect, right there. And I get that frustration that nothing happens. But there you are. You're very angry because nothing ever happens. And how is that helping to stop the drug cartels, that anger?
Oh, it doesn't.
It doesn't, does it? You know, some of us might say, I use it as motivation to act and complain and this and that. I get that. But really, that anger is like a drug to you.
I see it.
You get that?
Yes.
Good. So can you welcome up that anger? You're feeling that instead of feeling your divine presence, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes. And which would you rather feel? Your divine presence or your anger?
Divine presence.
Of course. And yet, we all do it. Okay? And that's why I say we're addicted to our anger. We're addicted to these feelings. Would it be okay with you if you just embraced that anger? Loved it? Could you see that as part of your divine expression?
Yes.
Yes. And do you feel it in your body anywhere, the anger, or is it just in your field?
Well, in my heart area, and it's moving. It's moving out.
Good. So could you just let that keep moving out?
Mm-hmm.
And what divine quality would you like to develop in your heart instead of this anger?
Well, you throw me when you say that. I'm not quite sure. For me it's love, but it sounds like in previous call you have different
possibilities.
Qualities.
So love would be perfect. I was also thinking protection.
Say it again. Protection?
Protection. Would it be okay with you if you became a powerful protective energy for this country?
Yes.
It is okay, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a quality of the heart. It's like Archangel Michael. Sufis have one called Yavakil. The Buddhists have them. Every tradition has these beings that are there to protect. Would it be okay with you if you welcome up this anger and allow it to shift into this quality of protection? Where you are protected.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where the country is protected.
I love that. Yes.
Yes.
I don't feel so powerless doing that.
Yeah, that's right. Right. Is it okay with you? See, power is another divine quality. Is it okay with you, Patsy, if you allow this anger to shift into power and you become a powerful person?
Yes.
That's okay, or does it bring up fear for you?
No, power.
Power.
I guess I was liking protection. I felt useful.
Yeah, then keep it as protection. Pull up this energy.
Yes.
Let it shift.
Yes, I feel like I'm making a contribution to my country and the world doing that.
And to yourself. Don't shortchange yourself.
Okay.
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 Because we all have temptations and all stuff comes up, and the protective energy helps us discriminate. Say no.
Okay.
Say no. So go back to these drug cartels who are apparently, and I believe it, are murdering people, are using people as mules to bring their drugs across the borders, and the mules get caught and put in prison, and sometimes they die, and all that sort of thing. So what other energy comes up for you? Or are you good now?
I'm in dark right now. Just being able to move into more love, just being more loving.
More loving. Good. And could you allow yourself to be more loving?
Yes.
Yes. And all the feelings, the anger or the like, oh my gosh, how terrible, what's going on, the horror, anger and horror and despair. Did you let all that shift into love?
Yes.
Yes. And if it comes up again, because this is just the first bypass, first time we're doing it, is it okay if you use the same process to transform the energy in your heart?
Yes.
Yes. And is it okay if you become a loving, powerful, protecting force all the time?
Yes.
Yes. Nice. All right. Do we need to go anywhere else here?
No, and thank you.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it up. Because we all have it, Patsy. We all have it.
Thank you, Stephen.
All right. Anyone else here? All right, we have someone live. Kathy.
just I want to work on pride and self-centeredness.
Right. Pride. I heard pride and self-centeredness.
Yeah.
Kathy's a little bit deep within herself right now. So let's go to pride, okay?
Okay.
So what are you proud about?
Well, it's I'm better, you know.
Is this about the drug people, or is this something else in your life? Either way is
Well,
okay.
it's about judgment.
Okay.
A lot of judgment.
And who do you have judgment towards?
A lot of people.
Good.
On the way here, 3 or 4.
Gotcha. Good. So everybody notice how good we are at judging? Okay? It's a cultural and human trait that we have. Right? So, do you like the fact that you judge people?
No.
No. Good. So that not liking them, okay? Does that make it go away? Or do you still judge people?
Oh, still judge.
You still judge.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, is it okay if we look at that not liking quality?
Okay.
All right. So right now you don't like it.
Mm-mm.
We call that resistance. You know, what we resist persists. So the more we don't like it, the more we try and push it away, the more it bounces back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So would you be willing to take a different approach here?
Yes.
Good. Would you be willing to look at all this judgment and just be with it? This whole pattern of judgment that you have.
Okay.
I mean, resisting it hasn't made it go away.
No. No.
Okay? Could you let go of resisting it?
Well, yes.
Could you let go of disapproving of it?
Mm. I guess yes.
Okay, has disapproving of it made it go away?
No.
Right. Could you let go of disapproving some more?
Yes.
Yeah. Could you let go of disapproving some more of your judgment?
Yes.
Yeah. And let it go some more.
Yes.
Okay. And is peace coming up, or is apathy coming up as you let go of this?
Mm.
Okay.
A little bit of
Resignation?
Kind of empty or numb again, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah. Gotcha. So that feeling of empty and numb, like, the feeling I got from your body language was, you can't do anything about this judgment,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
so you sort of give up. That's why I say it looks like resignation or apathy, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that resignation and apathy,
Mm-hmm.
is that serving you here?
No.
No, it's not. And is it just one more feeling?
Yes.
Just one more feeling. And you've let go of feelings before, haven't you?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Could you let go of this? Resignation, apathy. It's just a feeling.
Yes.
Yeah. Could you let go of it some more?
Yes.
And more?
Yes.
Yes. And would it be okay with you if you looked upon yourself as a being with a lot of feelings?
Yes.
Yes. Right. Okay. And, right, understatement for all of us. Okay. So here we are, we're beings with a lot of feelings. And are you judging that about yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Right, don't like it.
Mm-mm.
But that's how it is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So not liking it doesn't really change it.
No.
Okay. Would it be okay with you if you shifted how you approach them?
Yes.
And just see them as a part of you for you to work with.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
To see them as tools for you to move back into peace.
Move back in.
Into peace. That'd be okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
That every feeling is coming up because there's some stored energy in you from the past that wants to be healed. And if something comes up and said, "Oh, would you please heal me?" Would you say, "Go away, I don't like you"? Or would you say, "Yeah, let me heal you"?
Yes.
You'd say, "Yes, let me heal you."
Yes.
So all these feelings are coming up, And that's the subtext. Please heal me. Okay? Please heal me. Can you see this picture here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It gives it a whole different light, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's what the heart sees. The mind sees an attack. The heart sees, please heal me. Okay? The mind sees the attack and judges and resists. And the heart says, of course I will heal you. Of course. So would it be okay with you if you went into your heart and greeted your feelings with love, with tolerance, with patience?
Greeted the feelings of love, tolerance, and patience. Yes.
It's okay. Because otherwise they're just going to keep coming back, right? So would you rather have them keep coming back? Or would you rather have them greet them with love, tolerance, patience?
I'd rather greet them.
Yeah, of course. So could you look at all the people in your life that you judge the same way? Okay? When we judge them, when we resist them, we're sending an energetic message that says, come back here. Okay?
Yeah.
We draw them back into our lives.
Yeah.
Or we resist persists. So would you rather do that, or would you rather greet them with love?
Greet them with love.
Yeah. And which feels better?
Well, that has potential, yeah.
Yeah, with love. So, is it okay with you? So pull up one of the people you judged on the way here. Okay? So, your mind was judging them.
Yes.
Could you let go of that part of your mind? Say, thank you. Thank you. It's okay if you leave now.
Thank you. It's okay if you leave.
And look at them through the eyes of your heart.
Okay.
What comes up when you see them with your heart?
Just another person.
Just another person. Living their life. Evolving the best they can. Right?
Yes.
And that's a lot more peaceful for you, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So pull up another person you were judging on the way here.
Okay, I got it.
All right? You see the judgment?
Yes.
Could you let that go? Thank you, mind.
Yeah, thank you, mind.
Thank you, mind.
Thank you.
And shift into your heart.
Yes.
Okay? When you see them with the eyes of your heart, how do you see them?
Just another person, yeah.
Just another person. Yeah. And could you give that person some love and approval?
Yes.
Yes. Give them some more love and approval.
Yes.
Look at that smile.
This little thought came in, but they should stop what they're doing, but, I
got you. So that little thought, that's still part of your mind, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. And does that make them stop what they're doing when you think that?
No.
Not at all. But if you see them with love, if you see them with the vision of them being a spiritual being, would that have a positive influence in their life?
Yes.
Suppose everyone that saw that person, I'll make this up, let's say you saw an alcoholic on the street, okay, and we judged them, sleeping it off, okay? If every person that walked by them saw them with love as a divine being, what impact would that have in their life?
They'd feel better.
Yeah, a lot better, wouldn't they? Start to function from that level.
Yes.
Okay? So would it be okay with you if you see everyone with love?
Yes.
So pull up one more of the people you were judging.
Yes, okay, got it.
Got it? And how do you feel about them now?
I need irritation.
Good. So welcome up that irritation. Could you let that go?
Yes.
Yes.
There's a little bit in there that I can't please them. That's why I'm judging them.
You can't please them.
I can't please them. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah. So could you take that thought and just let that go? It's not really serving you. Just a thought. Let it go, or just be with it. Love the thought. Okay.
Okay.
Okay? And could you give that person some love and approval?
Yes.
Could you let go of disapproving of them?
Yes.
Yes. So very quickly you start smiling here now.
Yeah.
All right? Was there one more? Or can you come up with another person
I
you've judged?
think that's okay.
You think we're okay?
Yeah.
All right, you get how to do it then.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Kathy. And I think we'll call that a morning. So thank you all very much. I'm going to unmute everyone. Well, I wish you all a great...
Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for coming. So grateful. All right.
Have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow.
Great.
Love you.